Andanar to occupy the podium for the open forum. If you have any question, please just stand and proceed to the microphones in front. Okay? State your name and your affiliation, then your question. Ateneo students, university tayo.
I'm sure you enjoyed my portion. Para vivo! I would like to congratulate the men and women behind the documentary. Sila ni Mon Bonoping, Asek Mon, who is himself an Atenean. Dali ka nag-eskwela, di ba? High school, tapos Ateneo di Manila. Ako nag-eskwela ko sa Xavier University, Cagayan de Oro. Ateneo di Cagayan. So, you know how it is. They say that kung Atenean ka, well, you might just make it to this post. You might become a secretary one day. Ginapayas kamay ba? Pero, I'm really impressed by your theater. I am an audiophile. And I was telling Father Tabora na guwapo kayo inyong speakers, yung microphone, it's really world-class. And I'm sure the Chief of Staff of the Vice President, Boyd D, would agree that this is comparable to the Kennedy School at Harvard University. Why binuang? It's real. Kuwang yun siya. High-tech yun siya. As we say it in Cagayan de Oro, tsada kaayo. Do you have any questions? Yes, please.
I'm Marvelous Davy Camilo, the Humanities and Letters Academics and Social Engagement Commissioner. I have just observed that there is no Secretary for Department of Education. I want what is her plan about the K-12 or any program, or what have she done for the first 50 days? Thank you.
Secretary Briones was there earlier. Maybe he didn't notice that, but the K-12 program, na-explain man ni sa amo ni Secretary Briones that there's so much work to be done, strengthening the infrastructure, classrooms, even the curriculum mismo. So.
Okay, next question.
Hi, sir. Real Benedict, Ate News, official student publication of Ateneo de Davao. I'm just wondering why did you choose Davao to be the venue of the first screening of the first 50 days of Duterte? Why Davao? And why Ateneo specifically?
My answer to that is, why not? It's as simple as this. Our beautiful island, the island of Mindanao, has been long a little bit forgotten, and it's been really our complaint. We feel like we've been forsaken. for the longest time. No? And now that we have a president from Mindanao, from Davao, and then you have more than half of the cabinet from Mindanao, di Mindanao sa, kita sa una. Diba? It's about time that we glorify our island, and we start where the president is from, which is Davao.
Okay, another question?
May pangutana si Father.
Father Joel muna. Okay.
Davao. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very informative. I'd just like to ask you about the cooperation between secretaries, whether there is teamwork that is developing among the secretaries. When Gina Lopez came here in the second part, one of the very encouraging things I witnessed was that Secretary Piñol, Secretary Bial, and Gina Lopez were working together to be able to address the problems relative to the environment. You cannot solve problems with the environment unless proving to people it has something to do with their health and with their food supply. So maybe would you have more to say about this cooperation? I think it would be essential also in the fight against drugs, to complement the fight against drugs with measures for sustainable development, measures for uplifting the people themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. It's a great question. I will speak first from our end at the Presidential Communications Office, and a testament of our continuous cooperation with the other cabinet portfolios is the documentary right now that we just showed you. And as the communications team in the cabinet, we are in a very unique position to attend all cluster cabinet meetings, because all government policies will not be imbibed by the grassroots if it is not delivered also through communication. So, kami po, fathers, PCO, we have made it a point that in all of the activities of our fellow portfolios or cabinet secretaries, we are always there to support them. As a matter of fact, one of the executive orders that we recommended to the President is the National Communications Policy. The National Communications Policy is a policy that institutionalizes the flow of information from one cabinet department to the next until it goes around to the President and to the public. Because nung mga nakaraang taon po ay medyo napabayaan ang communication ng ating gobyerno. Marami pong mga ahensya din sa ilalim po ng PCO whose job it is to communicate not only to the people but also to the different agencies of government. At ito po yung mga ahensya tulad ng Philippine Information Agency na medyo nawalan po ng kakaunting impluensya at saysay sa ating gobyerno dahil nga hindi po ito naging prioridad ng mga nakaraang administrasyon. So, there are certain policies institutions that Marcos built that were built and in a way that we can call it a master stroke. Like the Philippine Information Agency during the time of Secretary Sandanya, it was a very relevant agency here in the Philippines. So binubuhay po natin ito. And to connect that to the cooperation that we need really to communicate. I'll give you an example. I was in Sulu 2 weekends ago with the President. At ang sinabi po sa akin ng manager ng Sulu, Radyo ng Bayan, Mr. Secretary, this is the first time that we have ever had a press secretary in Sulu. Ganon din po yung sinabi sa akin dun sa Bukidnon at sa Cagayan de Oro na hindi po dinadalaw ng press secretary yung Philippine News Agency or Philippine Information Agency or Channel 4 Radyo ng Bayan na nasa ilalim po ng poder natin. At sabi ko po sa kanila, just like as the island of Mindanao has long been forsaken, now I know that pati po pala yung mga ahensya, mga regional offices, Father, ay napabayaan po. So how can you communicate and how can you solve the problems of Maria if you don't go to Maria and ask her the problem? So pagdating po naman sa loob ng cabinet, Father, no? Ito po ay, ang saksihan ko po ay lahat nag-uusap-usap kung paano makatulong yung isang department doon po naman sa polisiya ng ibang departamento.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. Sir, si student muna kasi nabara siya kanina ni Father.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Secretary Andanar. My name is Ray Alonsagay, a fourth-year mass communication student. Also, a member of Ateneus, the official student publication of Ateneo de Davao University. Considering that our country is on the ring of fire, which is affected by typhoons, earthquakes, and tsunamis, etc., ano po yung plano ng mga government agencies such as the Department of Science and Technology and NDRRMC in order for our country to become disaster prepared and also mas madali tayo maka-adapt ng effects ng climate change in the years to come? Thank you.
Magandang tanong yan at masasagot ko po yan. I can only speak on behalf of the department na pinapatakbo po natin. Ay nagkaroon po tayo ng panukala at binasa po ito ng ating Pangulo noong nakaraang State of the Nation Address. At yung binasa po ng Pangulo ay yung ating isinumiting panukala na magtatagpo tayo ng isang broadcast hub. At the same time, this broadcast hub is an emergency broadcast protocol of the nation. At itatayo po ito sa lugar, itong broadcast hub, sa lugar na hindi po tinatamaan ng bagyo. Ang tawag po natin dito ay Mindanao Broadcast Hub, which will be in Davao. So kahit po binabagyo yung mga kapatid natin dun sa Visayas at binabagyo po dun sa Maynila, kahit binaha po sila, ay maaari po tayong mag-broadcast at maaari po tayong makikipag-communicate sa ating mga kababayan sa pamagitan ng Mindanao Broadcast Hub, which will become a state-of-the-art media hub in Mindanao. And for people like you who are taking up mass communication, you no longer have to go to Manila to become one of the creme de la creme newscasters. You can stay here in Davao. And to add to that, yung broadcast hub po dito sa Davao ay magkakaroon po ng 4 na studio. Yung isang studio po doon ay magiging Salam Television, the first Muslim channel in the country. At binanggit din po ng Pangulo natin na magkakaroon din po tayo ng isang national TV network na tatawagin po natin ay Lumad Television. para po sa napakaraming lumat po sa bansa natin. At nag-usap po kami ni Father Tabora kani-kanina lang at binanggit po sa atin na meron pong isang Islamic Center dito po sa Davao, Ateneo de Davao. At ang sabi ko po sa kanya, ay bakit pa ako lilingon doon sa malayo sa Universidad ng Pilipinas sa Diliman para kumuha po ng isang konsultasyon sa mga kaibigan nating Muslim doon kung meron pa lang Islamic Center dito sa Ateneo de Davao. Kaya dito na lang po tayo upuan ng ating tayo. So, broadcast hub, emergency broadcast protocol, kahit anong lindol pa ang tatama sa atin or bagyo, you will be the last man standing broadcasting. Okay. Mag-okay naman siguro?
Sir, Secretary, may follow-up po. Meron po kayong timetable like kailan po ma-launch yung Mindanao broadcast?
Okay, ito po yung ginagawa natin. Kahapon lang po. Ito sariwang-sariwa. Kausap ko po si DBM Director Larry Dalipe at tinanong ko po siya bakit ho yung aming budget ganito lang po yung in-approve ninyo. How can we make the dream of our President possible kung bibigyan nyo lang po kami ng kapipirangkot na budget na 200 million. Kaya sabi ko, pero ang sabi niya po sa akin ay ito po ang dapat yung gawin, Mr. Andanar. Ito yung mga dapat mong gawin at ibibigay namin sa inyo yung 1.5 billion pesos na hinihingi mo. Ngayong taon na ito, huwag natin hintayin ang 2017 para masimula na at para maihabol po natin kahit paano. Kung hindi man ang TV station, kundi kahit yung programming man lang na Salam Television na maihabol po natin bago po magikalawang sona ang ating Pangulo sa Hulyo sa susunod na taon.
Thank you, sir. Sir in blue.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Dan Pantoja ng Peace Builders Community. Peace building field worker po ako dun sa mga conflict areas. Natutuwa po ako nung nagkaroon ng unilateral ceasefire declaration ang ating Pangulo. Kaya lang nag-loot. Sa ginagawa po ngayon sa GPH at NDF na usapan, iniisip na po ba ng administrasyon ngayon, lalo na komunikasyon kayo, yung ceasefire mechanism sa ground, napakahalaga po. No? Kasi kahit anong declaration natin sa taas, kapag walang mekanismo sa baba, parang siguro hindi din mangyayari. Pangalawa pong kaakibat ng tanong kong yun ay ano ang role ng CSO, Civil Society Organizations, sa ceasefire, kung meron silang role, at ano ang emphasis, ano ang pananaw ng Pangulo, ng administrasyon tungkol sa IP dahil sila talagang naapektuhan nitong armed conflict na ito.
Salamat po sa katanungan. Noong unang idineklara ng ating Pangulo ang unilateral ceasefire, at sa pagkakalam ko po, sir, ay nagkaroon agad ng panuntunan ang Armed Forces of the Philippines kung ano po yung mekanismo na gagamitin sa ceasefire. No? Hindi lang po sa Mindanao, pati po sa Visayas at sa Luzon, kung meron pong ating mga kapatid na miyembro ng CPP, NPA, NDF. Pero unfortunately, ay nabulabog ito, nabulilyaso, kaya hindi po na, winidraw po ito ng Presidente. No? Pero, that's already water under the bridge. No? Ang maganda pong balita dito, sir, ay tuloy-tuloy po ang pakikipag-usap ng ating pamahalaan sa CPP, NPA, NDF. As a matter of fact, naglabas ng isang statement si Ka-Joma Season 2 days ago at sinasabi niya na siya natutuwa dahil ang ating Pangulo ay tuloy-tuloy ang kanyang pakikipag-dialogo sa ating mga kapatid sa kaliwa. At patunay po dyan ang peace talks na mangyayari ngayong August 22 sa Oslo, Norway, at papunta na po doon ang ating kalihim na si Bebot Belio at si Secretary Just Rosa ay patungo na rin po doon sa susunod na araw. At pagdating po naman sa ikalawang tanong ninyo, ito po ay may kinalaman sa civil society or the civic organizations na ang gobyerno po natin ay bukas. Bukas po ang pintuan ng gobyerno natin sa mga civil society organizations, civic groups para tumulong sa napaka-tagal ng problema ng ating bansa patungkol sa kapayapaan. At patunay po dyan yung social agenda po ng ating Cabinet Secretary Johnny Vasco na very inclusive at sinasama po lahat ng miyembro ng civil society. At pagdating po naman sa problema ng ating mga katutubo, ang ating IPs, ay ganoon din po. Ang Pangulo ay bukas po ang pintuan ng ating Presidente at bukas ang pintuan ng Office of the Cabinet Secretary para tulungan ng ating mga katutubo sa kanilang mga problema dito po sa ating bansa. So, sir, kung meron po kayong mga request, kailangan huwag po kayong magatubili. Lapitan niyo po ako para kung ano man yung concerns niyo. Ilalapit ko po kay Secretary Johnny Vasco.
Sir, another question from a student.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary. I'm Zaira B. Alcarte po, second year International Studies student major in Asian po.
Ako po, mahirap tanong mo.
Hindi po, sir. My question po, sir, is that, is the Philippines really capable of stabilizing or keeping the K-12 curriculum, or are we not risking the generation for the curriculum experimentation?
Well, parang
Kasi po, sir, I came from a public school po, Davao City National High School. Unfortunately, sir, I visited the school after graduating from it, and unfortunately, sir, some of the juniors they frequently tell me na, ate, unsa man yung mga, na may uban times tayo nga ang libro, dili maoo niya, na times po na, dali lang makorek ang libro sa mga estudyante, sir. So, are we really capable of the K-12 curriculum and stand by it, stand firmly with it?
Palagay ko naman, there's no turning back. We've crossed the Rubicon. Yung mga ganun statement. No, kasi ganito yun. Kung titignan niyo po yung mga lugar, mga bansang nakapaligid po sa Pilipinas, no, na meron na silang K-12. Ito po yung mga bansang mas maunlad po sa atin. No? At alam ko, 2 bansa na lang ata yung hindi K-12. No? O isang bansa na lang, kasi tayo may K-12 na. Kung titignan po natin, at lalo na, we have to consider that our nation is a nation that is very dependent on the revenues, the remittances of the OFWs, no? So we need to get our act together to be at par with the educational system of the other countries, no? Ang masakla po kasi, meron tayong 8 milyong OFWs at padami ng padami po yung umi-exit ng bansa natin. Darating din po yung panahon na makikita po ng ating mga counterparts sa ibang bansa na ang kanilang human capital, ang kanilang capital ay human capital din, yung mga manggagawa ay meron silang K-12. So doon pa lamang po, kung di po tayo mag K-12 ay alkansita. No. So we have no choice but to get our act together, and that is why institutions like Ateneo de Davao and other private institutions are helping and should continue helping our public education system para sa ganon ay maging handa at maging kompleto na yung K-12 educational system natin. It's going to be a long process. There's going to be a lot of bumps on the road ahead, but we must and we have to do it for us to be competitive internationally.
Thank you. Murag last question again ni.
Good morning, Secretary.
Good morning.
My name is David Abella, third year Mass
Oh, someone who's earning.
I wish, sir. So, question ko is, what was the process of the executive order regarding the FOI or freedom on of information? Like, how were you able to make it like to execute it as fast as can? Because of course, as a mass communication student, it's very important
Yes.
regarding that that order of freedom of information. Because us being mass comm students, we're the watchdogs of society. We have the job of informing the people. So of course, I want to know how, like, what's the process regarding that executive order. Thank you.
Well, it's a good question. Coincidentally, I was meeting with my staff yesterday, and we talked about the Freedom of Information Manual, because it says there in the executive order that every agency should be completing its own FOI manual. Now, when the President signed it, we already hit the ground running, and we took it upon ourselves, because we were, of course, appointed by the ES to implement this. No, we already assembled an ad hoc committee to build the template for the Freedom of Information Manual. No, so we worked with World Bank. World Bank, they have experience already in constructing the manual of the freedom of information in the UK and in the United States. No? So we, as much as possible, we will make sure that we follow the best practices in the world. Yung para wala ng learning curve pa, no? So the manual is finished already. Tapos na. What we will do now is we have a meeting with the other agencies like the DICT. Bakit may DICT dito but may Department of Information Communication Technology? Because yung DICT po yung may hawak ng OpenGov, yung open data.gov.ph. No? So that open data kasi na ginawa ng nakarang administrasyon, we will evolve that into the FOI. So may meeting po kami next week, and then ang Office of the Solicitor General naman at yung DOJ, they are tasked to write down all the exceptions dun sa freedom of information. Ito po yung mga hindi natin pwedeng buksan na impormasyon dahil maaaring maapektuhan ng ating, halimbawa na lamang, seguridad ng the national security. So the deadline for the Solgen and the Department of Justice is August 28, if I'm not mistaken. So ibigay po nila sa amin yung exceptions, and then after that, yung freedom of information should have its implementing rules already by November. Sinusunod lang po natin yung kalendaryo. So, thank you.